Hey everybody, it's a beautiful day. The children are out playing soccer. People are out on the tennis courts. It's a great day. You know, I want to share a story time. It's not a fake story. It's a reality of mine that I've lived through. I'm going to give you the dramatic intro and then I'll back up and I'll explain it. I'm going to start with this. Now people are going to hear this and you're going to hear my initial words and you're going to say, devil, terrible person, until you hear the rest. Here's where I'm going to start this story time is that, wow, I was so thankful for my friends whose father was the head of the Church of Satan in San Francisco. And she grew up and she didn't have such great behavior because of the things she was forced to do because of her lifestyle. I'm so thankful for them. I'm so thankful for them. Now, I would never think in my life that I would say, thank you, Church of Satan, for helping me. Thank you, people that are crazy, for helping me. But let's talk about the reality of it. You know, God can do anything. He hasn't changed. So he will use people to bless you. Now, let me back up and tell you a little bit about this. So when I was 23, scapegoat number, I got pregnant. I was recommended to not continue with the pregnancy by my doctor because I have a rare illness called scleroderma. They also say no injections for us with scleroderma either. It is not going to be helpful for your health. It could cause problems. But anyway, so I got pregnant. I didn't even want to have the child to begin with, as in I didn't plan to have a child. It wasn't planned. But here's what happened. My doctors told me because of the illness I had, if I had the baby, there was a very high probability that I would die giving birth, and the child may not make it either. Now, the man who had got me pregnant had threatened my life. He did close to 25 years in prison for something else. But he had threatened me. He told me if I didn't have the baby, he would kill me. I don't think he meant it, or at least at the time, I really didn't think he meant it. But then he ended up doing time for something else having to do with violence. But, so here I was. I had to go on bed rest because I told the doctor, you know, even though I had had a medical condition and they told me I might die giving birth, even though this man was telling me he would kill me and I was being treated very, very badly. I had this baby in me now, and I'm like, holy cow. And at first I was not happy because I don't want to bring anybody into the world that I've grown up in. It was horrific in a lot of ways. So I was like, shit, I don't want to bring someone to earth, but at the same time, I couldn't. I loved him too much already. Turned out to be a girl. But anyway, the doctor said, if you're going to go through this pregnancy, you're going to have to go on bed rest. So I was on bed rest. I had to lay on my side from 3 months on. That meant I had to give up my job, which then meant I couldn't pay my rent. So I had to give up my job. I couldn't pay my rent. The amount coming in from what is it called? Temporary disability or whatever it was not covering my expenses. And the man who got me pregnant was nowhere to be found when it came to any assistance coming to me. If he needed assistance, he might come to me, but you know, not the other way around. So this man didn't help me at all. I'm pregnant, I'm on bed rest. They're telling me I could die. I have this illness. I'm being treated. I go to the hospital one night because I was bleeding. I thought I was losing the baby. I was scared. I thought I was losing the baby. And I had to wait in the hospital waiting room for a very, very long time. And there was this couple, this lesbian couple. And just something in my spirit, I felt them in my soul. I just felt them. And so we sat in the hospital and I ended up sitting with them. And at the time, I think I was with the guy who got me pregnant, which I've forgiven him, and we've moved on, and I don't hold any animosity towards him anymore. But at the time, he was not in a good place. He is in a better mental state now, and I'm very happy for him for that. Because that's breaking a chain, is change. People fuck up, you forgive them. If they change, they've shown you that they're repentant. Don't keep beating them up for shit. But anyway, here I was on bed rest. I'm sick. I'm in the hospital. I'm hemorrhaging. I meet this couple. We end up in the emergency room for hours playing games. They had brought games. I sat with them, played games. They were so nice. And something just resonated in my soul. And I was telling them, my situation's not good, and I'm about to be homeless. I think I might be, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if this baby's going to make it. I had to give up everything. I don't know what to do. And these women talked to me, and they were like, and they were not at the time like the normal type of person I would think to talk to. One was a really butch lesbian. She looked kind of mean, but she was so nice. And then the other one was real femme. She was like a lipstick lesbian. But they were so cool. They were so nice. And I said, they asked me where I lived, and I told them the town I lived in. They're like, no way, I live there too. I said, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And then, not only that, I say, where about? And I give them she gave me the street. I said, you're fucking kidding me. I live on the same fucking street. Then I started laughing, and I named the apartments. And she was like, oh my gosh, we're fucking neighbors. Turned out we lived in the same apartments. So here I was, right? This is how good God is. Here I was in the hospital about to be homeless. I think I'm losing my baby. I have nowhere to go. These people pop up. They've seen the abuse. They've seen a cycle because they themselves have been through abuse, so they recognize it. They were survivors of ritual abuse on the highest of levels. My friend, this woman, they used to shoot her up with heroin between her toes as a little infant. So her life was much harder than mine was. But she recognized that I was being abused, and I was. There was a lot of stuff going on, and no one was helping me. So this woman, who I didn't know, said, you know what you're going to do? You're going to move in with us. And I was like, pardon? She said, you're going to move in with us. We got a 1-bedroom. We're going to get you packed up. We're going to get your bed. We're going to put your bed in our front room, and we're going to make you a home in our home and cover you and keep you safe. These people did not know me, but they recognized somebody in trouble. And see, people get spirituality confused with religion. You know, people get stuck in preconceived notions. Now, initially, had I met someone whose family was from the Church of Satan, I would probably run the other way because I think, oh, no. But they were good people to learn from, and they don't follow that either. They don't follow that lifestyle. She got away. She was able to get assistance, and she was able to get the mental help she needed to get her life back in order. So she was able to get over the multiple personality disorder. She was able to integrate. She was able to break away from the old cycles and gain her whole self. So when she seen me and she seen what was happening, they immediately stepped up to the plate. They literally took me in. They didn't know me. I was so scared at first, but I felt them in my spirit. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm scared. God, I'm going to have a baby. I might die. The baby might die. I don't know who these people are. I'm going to move in with them. I'm in the hospital right now. There's like blood. What are we doing here, God? And these people popped up to help me. These people who themselves had been abused, these people who grew up in hidden factions of really terrible shit. But the thing was, they were chain breakers. They were not continuing the abuse, the crazy cycles that their family was doing. They were reversing it. Where her father would harm people and babies and stuff, she would do the opposite. She will help babies and make sure people were not harmed. See, she was helping to break a chain, break a cycle. So I was very thankful. She made me very aware of the world around me that I was not aware of before. At that time, I didn't know half the things that were going on out there in the nasty world because my spirit doesn't operate that way. But she took me into her home, literally put me in their front room, and they took care of me until I got on my feet. I ended up getting with a program called the Gabriel Project. And with the Gabriel Project, they helped me. I was on bed rest during my pregnancy. They put me in a new home with a lady named Mary. And Mary was very nice. She took me in until I was able to deliver the baby because I was on bed rest. I couldn't stay, on my friend's house in the front room forever. I was able to stay there until I had delivered the baby, which it was difficult. It was very difficult. It was a difficult pregnancy. It was a difficult deliverance of the baby, but it's been a great life experience and deliverance in real time. And it's funny also because with my first child, if people say, "Did you want to have your first child?" I'd say, "Hell no, I didn't want to have her." But you know what? It was the best thing that ever happened in my fucking life. See, God will bring things to you. He knows what's best. And even though at a time you might think no, and you might be being stubborn, He knows how you really are. My daughters are like my biggest blessing. I love all 3 of my daughters, all my children. I'm just like, you guys are fucking great. So, did I initially plan to have a child? No. But I love her so much, and what I won't do is take out on her the actions of what someone from the past did to me to help bring her into existence. It's not her fault. It's not her fault who her parents are or the type of things that were done to her. You break the cycle by teaching new ways, right? Yes. So the story's all over the place, but that also brings me to one of the lessons I taught my daughter young. Because as a parent, we guide our children. And one day my daughter had said to me, "You own me, and I'm thankful that you're the one I'm under because you're nice." And I'm like, "No, I don't own you. I do not own you. You are your own being. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to show you. I'm here to help you with your spiritual gifts. I'm here to help put you on a path so that you could accomplish the things you want to do. I don't own you." See, because that was a problem with my mom coming out of a cycle of abuse. My mother was a handler to the tightest degree. I can't even tell you. She was the micromanaging queen of everything down to how you wipe. I don't want to talk about her right now. But my point being, the Lord will put people and situations in your path that are actually meant to help you learn and grow. See, like the Bible talked about, with Satan when he was had to talk with Job about, had to talk about Job about how he was going to give him sores, make him lose his family, make him lose his job, make him lose damn near everything. God said, "Okay, go for it. But you can't kill him. Can't kill him. You can do the other stuff, but you can't kill him." Because what the devil wanted to do was say, "Look, I could show that these people don't really love you, God. Like, I'm going to torment them, and they're going to say, 'God, no, I'm going to turn away from you. Watch. And God's like, go ahead. You can test them." So God allows this to happen for a certain amount of time. But God already knows, because He knows His children. He's already kept them safe. We're already secured in the original covenant. We're covered by His blood. He knew that. Sometimes we may forget that. We may lose hope, but it's still there. Don't lose hope. God will put people in your path that you think are like annoying. And sometimes those annoying people are meant to help you grow, because maybe they're meant to teach you how to operate more in your patience and compassion. Or maybe that annoyance is something that you recognize from the outside, but intrinsically you don't really want to deal with it yourself because it hurts. Man, deliverance hurts. Real change hurts. But it's great. It's great. I look a mess because I've been really tired lately, been crying a little bit, not a whole lot, but I'm just thankful for everything that's going on. And I am thankful to the families and the people who took me in. I'm thankful because a lot of these people get bad raps. People assume often that the person that's being abused is the abuser, when that's not it. It's that there's been a cycle where the abuser has manipulated the victim into a certain position to where they feel like they can't operate, right? So you don't have to operate in that. You could be free, because God didn't say that we're supposed to be bound like to anybody or anything. We're not to worship idols, be it objects that might be out, or other people, or even sometimes specific thoughts that we get in our head under our ego. You know, because we have that Freudian ego, the id, the false ID. Don't get that. We want the real ID. I ain't talking about the corporate ID, the corporation of the US and all that. I'm talking about your spiritual identity. It's a spiritual battle. In the end, the earth is going to go. That's okay. But what about your soul? Where are you going to be? So it's important that you continue to work on yourself and you don't judge others. You use every opportunity as a growing experience to enrich your life and that of the people around you. Don't give in to the chaos. Don't fall into the gang stalking. Don't become one of those people that thinks you're better than others. Don't become a Pharisees. See, we're to come out of Babylon. Our time in the desert is over. Our time being lost is over. Reflection is here and we are free. Remember that, you and me.